Rookie Hunter is proudly brought to you by the Wild Sheep Foundation. If you'd like to support their mission to put and keep wild sheep on the mountain, you can go to wildsheepfoundation.org to become a member, renew your membership, or become a lifetime member. You can even get yourself some badass WSF merch. All of that can be found at wildsheepfoundation.org. And while you're there, check out Sheep Fever, the official podcast of the Wild Sheep Foundation. Rookie Hunter continues to stay connected with Zoleo. If you're in the market for a new satellite communicator, now is the time to get it. You can save $70 on the device for a limited amount of time. All of the information can be found at Zoleo.com. That's Zoleo.com. And of course, we're partnering with our longtime friends at North Arm Knives. They've just opened up a brand new shop and are once again shipping out orders. Get yours today at NorthArmKnives.com. Hey guys, welcome to episode 178. Looks like summer's here, and with that, for me anyway, comes allergy season, so apologies for the way I sound, but it is what it is. So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the spring season. Maybe some of you were chasing turkeys, maybe some of you were chasing bears, maybe some of you were just getting ready for the fall season. I mean, it's not that far away. It's never too early to get ready. To follow up on our safety episode from last week, I want to remind you guys that Zoleo has a promo going on, and you can save $70 on a device up until June 12th. So you got a couple weeks to take advantage of that. We've said it many, many times here. Our devices have been nothing short of amazing. They haven't let us down. Been using mine for, I think about a year now. And I've been using it a lot. I always carry it with me. So yeah, stay safe out there and stay in touch with the ones you love. Go to Zoleo, Zoleo.com, and check out that offer while you still can. But let's get into the episode. Sit back, relax, crack a nice cold beer, and enjoy episode 178. All right, this is a question that was submitted to us, more of a topic than anything, I guess. And it's solo hunting versus, hunting with a partner or hunting with a group. So there's pros and cons to both. A lot of it is preference. But I think a lot of you know that I do enjoy hunting solo for a number of reasons, but I equally enjoy hunting with a group. And there's nothing better than camp and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I would just kind of break down some of the pros and cons of each. I do want to start by saying that, if you are a new hunter, and I'm assuming you are if you're listening to this, that you should not go out on your own just yet. Unless you are someone who came into this very experienced, somebody who's already spent a lot of time in the backcountry and is comfortable out there, I would not go out there and chase big game on your own for the very first time. There's lots to learn before you go out there on your own. But one thing I would suggest if you want to try some solo stuff is do some small game. That's a perfect way to decide if solo hunting is something that you enjoy or not. Some people don't like being out there on their own for safety reasons, or some people just get lonely and prefer the camaraderie of having a partner or a group. But let's start with solo hunting. One of the things I like about it is just flexibility. And I'm kind of a last minute guy. I'm self-employed. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to fuck off and go hunting tomorrow morning. It's usually a 9 p.m. decision, and I throw my bag together real quick and I'm out the door first thing in the morning. Same thing for afternoon type stuff. I might work until 2:00 and grab my bag and go cruise some back roads for black bear or something like that. So there's a lot of freedom and flexibility that comes with solo hunting. One of the things I like too is You kind of get a little bit of a deeper connection to everything around you when you're not distracted by another person or conversation. You're really, really taking things in at a whole other level than you would be if you were with somebody else. And I feel like I'm more observant, more in tune with what's going on around me. It's quieter. You can hear things that maybe you would miss if you were with somebody. So there's a lot of advantages in that sense. I think one of the most important things for me, anyways, is that I can make decisions really quickly and I don't have to worry about the other person and what they might think of the choice I'm about to make, or if it makes them uncomfortable to go into a certain area. You can be very fluid and just react as things are happening. Sometimes with, hunting with a partner or with a group, and, the moment happens and there's an animal, I feel like it adds more pressure sometimes, and you don't need more pressure when you have to make a very important decision, especially when it comes to aging or counting points and that type of thing. I like to really, really take my time, even though my window of opportunity might be closing. I like to triple check and make sure that I'm about to make the right decision. And I know when I've been with other people, sometimes I feel a little bit more frantic, like I don't want to let the person behind me down if I don't take the shot or whatever it might be. Or sometimes you just get an encouragement to shoot it, but you're not 100% sure what you're looking at. So part of that is understanding the person you're with and how they react in those situations. If you can trust them to help you make the right decision, if they can tell you with 100% certainty that the animal that you have your sight on is a legal animal. But I mean, you have to be 110% sure, even if they're 100%. So it's a team dynamic there. But that's what I like about being on my own, is I can really take my time, and it's only my decision to pull the trigger when the time comes. I think you can also, build a lot of confidence from hunting on your own, becoming more self-reliant and knowing what your limitations are, or how far you can push yourself. You learn a lot about who you are and what you like and don't like as far as solo hunting. And for the most part, like I said, I do enjoy it, and I think I've been more successful on my own, which isn't necessarily a product of being on my own. It's probably more of a more time spent in the field type of thing. But I have had good luck being on my own. There's obviously cons that come with solo hunting. There are safety risks. If things go wrong, it's just you and whatever means of contact you have with the outside world. In the intro, I mentioned Zoleo. That's something that I carry all the time now. And for many reasons, I mean, you twist an ankle or fall down a cliff or get bit by a rattlesnake, well, that thing is there and it's going to save your ass no matter what. If you are going solo, you obviously want to tell people where you're going to be, exactly where you're going to be. And you don't want to go too far off of that plan that you gave people, because if something does happen, obviously, if you're in a completely different area, well, you're going to be in trouble. So safety risks are obviously the number one. Meat recovery, is number two. Packing out a deer with your hunting buddy or an elk with 4 buddies is a lot easier than doing it by yourself. I've told this story many times, but the first buck I got on my own was the 4-point buck, and that's the one that Kelly did the Euro mount of, and it's the one that remains on my wall, and it's one of my fondest memories. I had my dog Oscar with me, and he was a big part of me finding that buck, and so there's a lot of good memories attached to that one. But one of the things that happened was I packed the whole thing out bone in, and I had to pack out the head and all that kind of stuff. So extremely heavy backpack. And I was about 1.5 kilometers off the trail. So I had to do a lot of bushwhacking. and I was going down a very steep grade. So there's, down logs and all that kind of stuff that you're stepping over. And at one point, I stepped up onto a log and kind of leaned forward, and all that weight kind of came up, behind me, and the momentum of stepping forward pushed me, straight over, and I fell on my side. I was kind of wedged underneath this log, and I cut my arm and shit like that. And the pack was so heavy that it was actually holding me down, and so I had to open up the chest strap and the hip strap and get myself out of that backpack. It was a very awkward and less than ideal situation. That's one of the heaviest pack loads I've ever had. I think we weighed it, and it was, about 100 pounds or something like that. It was stupid. So I don't recommend doing that. Obviously, the big mistake there was taking out all the bones, but I did use all the bones and made broth and all kinds of stuff. So that's the kind of shit you can get yourself into, and that could have been a lot worse. I still have a scar on my arm somewhere from that. And obviously for days and days after that, I was sore. Actually, I remember like a week later still feeling pretty sore, but that was a bit of a badge of honor too. After doing all that work, I felt like I had really accomplished things. But, if you are in a situation where you can't recover all of the meat, then you've made a mistake already. If the conditions are too hot and you have to take multiple trips, there's a chance of meat spoiling. And if you're doing what I did, something stupid like that, there's a chance you could get injured. So it goes without saying that you have to be very cautious about what you think you can do on your own as far as meat recovery and how much time you have to get something out. If you have to make multiple trips and you're in bear country, that could get a little bit sketchy on your own. So lots to think about as far as the meat recovery side of things. It is your responsibility to get all of those edible portions out of the woods. That's why you're there. So keep that stuff in mind. We've talked about how Kelly is really good on the glass because I think he has a lot more patience than Garrett and I do as far as like sitting and just watching. I get the itch to go move around and try and run into things rather than waiting for them to come to me, which, I mean, both strategies work, but I love having Kelly on the glass because he's able to pick things out very well. And especially, having somebody on the spotter who can find a legal bull or a legal buck and put you on that and give you a little bit of extra confidence before you try and close the distance or before you pull the trigger. But again, you need to be sure before you pull the trigger. So having somebody on glass is a huge advantage. I mean, it doubles your odds of seeing something. And if the person is confident on the glass and can help you find something legal, then that is awesome. One of the other things too, if you're going solo, especially if you're going to do like a multi-day thing, there's no splitting up the work or the gear weight or anything like that. You have to pack absolutely everything. You have to set everything up. You have to tear everything down. So obviously the team effort to set up a camp and share all those duties, be it getting water or whatever it might be, that goes a long way. So, I mean, that's kind of the solo side of things. Partner and group hunting is, I mean, there's all kinds of perks to it. Again, we go back to the safety side of things. If you roll an ankle or have some kind of emergency, if you're partnered up with somebody, they can help you as best as they can. When we're out there in the backcountry, I always kind of tell myself that it's, the people that are with me can help me, but as far as getting out, it's having something like a Zoleo or an InReach that's going to save your ass because your buddies can't pack you out if you break something. So, having contact with the outside world and especially medical advice, which, Zoleo has, if you're having some kind of incident or if, whatever it might be, some kind of injury, they can guide you through what to do. And that's obviously super helpful. So having people there with you to assist you in an emergency situation or get you back on your feet or to a safer location, obvious perks to that one. One of the main things is just like the social experience of it, the camaraderie. Even if you're going out and hunting on your own all day, it's nice coming back to camp with a group of guys. You know, even if it's just one guy or three guys or four guys, whatever it might be, the camp is where it's at. You know, having a whiskey with everybody and sharing some stories. You can't beat that side of it. And one of the main reasons why I got into hunting was to continue the tradition that my dad had. Every year, him and his buddies had the trips that they would do. If it was up to our cabin, they would always apply for moose up there, but there was mule deer opportunities. They had a turkey hunting camp that they would do every year. So that was my biggest takeaway and my biggest motivation was to keep those traditions going. And if it wasn't for hunting, you know, I probably would see Garrett a lot less. He's my cousin. He's like a brother to me. And I'm sure Kelly and I would still, you know, hang out lots, but it would be a lot less, man. So it's important from that aspect to keep those traditions going, make an effort to see each other every year and plan a trip and stay in touch. So I think that's the biggest, most important part. And, you know, we've talked about doing this shared moose hunt. And a big part of that is, you know, we can hunt with Kelly's dad and his father-in-law, or Garrett's dad and his father-in-law. You know, Garrett's dad is obviously my uncle, and it's important for me to take these opportunities when you can to hunt with family, because, you know, you're not going to be able to do it forever. And that's, if I could go back in time, I wish I could spend more time hunting with my dad. And I wish, you know, he could come and do a moose hunt with me now. I can't, but I can still, you know, do this with all of my friends and their, you know, their dads. So that's been a huge push, and a reason why I'm super excited that Kelly's dad has embraced hunting and fishing. We're actually going on a fly fishing trip with him and Kelly's father-in-law this weekend. So it just goes to show you that you know, the group thing is important for many reasons beyond hunting. Even if you don't catch anything, at least you spent time with family and friends and had a good time. It's also easier to stay motivated and positive. There are times when you hit lows. Everybody gets them when they're out there. You're not seeing critters, or you missed an opportunity, or, you know, you haven't eaten enough, or you're a little dehydrated. Having people there to raise your spirits is a huge help, and another massive perk of, you know, being with a partner or a group. And obviously you can work as a team, as I sort of covered in the solo part. Having people there to increase your confidence and help you out when you need it is a huge perk. There are some cons to it, obviously. You need to hunt with people who align with your goals, your fitness level, scheduling, all that kind of stuff. People have to be compatible. And if you're not compatible, it's not going to work. So, you know, fitness levels are obviously the biggest thing to consider when you're hunting with somebody, depending on what you're doing. But if you're planning an ambitious trip and somebody in your group isn't necessarily athletic or in good shape, the trip is going to be an absolute nightmare for them. It's going to, you know, probably drag morale down a little bit in the camp. It's going to limit what you can do if you have to, you know, hold back on opportunities because somebody in your group isn't able to do it. So it's a huge thing to keep in mind. And if they don't have the same goal as you, then they probably, you know, should do their own trip, which is fine. It could be your best buddy, but it doesn't mean you guys have to hunt together. I'm very fortunate to have the guys that I hunt with. We're all very, very compatible. It's easy for us to have conversations in uncomfortable moments, and that stuff is very, very important. So you have to be realistic with your friends and your hunting partners about what you want to do and what you think you can achieve, both as a group and individually. As I said in the solo portion, the group situation, there can be a lot of conflicting ideas about what to do. And that's, you know, that's why I like to go out on my own, because I just go and I can make decisions as they approach me. And with a group, you have to be considerate of what other people might want to do or might not want to do. And it's easy to kind of overthink things sometimes, which can lead to a missed opportunity. And it can lead to situations where you disagree or have an argument or something like that. It's all part of it, all things that you have to work through. But I mean, that's more or less it. I think, both have, a equal level of pros and cons. I wouldn't say solo hunting is better than group hunting or vice versa. They both have their place and they're both enjoyable. But you certainly need to, think about the situation, what you're doing, what you're trying to achieve, both personally and otherwise. So, one of the things is like you can do a hybrid strategy, and that's kind of what I touched on there, is that you can be in a group situation and you can go out and hike on your own for the morning or the afternoon or the whole day, whatever you want, but stay in touch with your hunting party and let them know where you are. That's obviously a key thing because, like I said, I like to wander. I typically like to wander pretty far. And one of the things I like to relay to my hunting partners is, hey, this is where I am. If I get an elk, are you guys willing to help me? And the answer is usually yes, but it comes with a little hesitation sometimes. So don't do something stupid and pull your hunting partners into a situation they don't want to be in. But yeah, that hybrid strategy obviously works. And especially if you have a group of, 3-4 people, if somebody wants to hunt with somebody, I mean, you can pair up and you can switch each day or whatever it might be. So there's a lot more options there. But I would say again that communication is key. So, I mean, I think that that kind of covers it. Again, I just want to emphasize that if you're new to this, you haven't hunted big game before, don't do it on your own unless you're, close to a road or something like that. Don't go out in the backcountry and think you're going to kill a buck and do it all on your own. There's a lot of things to learn, and you don't want to be in a situation that you cannot get yourself out of on your own, be it pack weight or injury or something like that. So hunt with partners in the beginning. If you don't have somebody to hunt with, go to pint nights and stuff like that. Check out backcountry hunters and anglers. Join some groups, whatever your hunting clubs are in the area, and just see if somebody will mentor you and take you under their wing, or find someone else who's new. I mean, Kelly and I got into this together as rookie hunters, and we were out there all the time together. We got our first deer together, and we went through that whole process together, which it just made me more comfortable when the time came to do it on my own. But I'm sure I'm glad that my first experience was not on my own, because it would have took a lot longer. It may have gone, it could have been disastrous. It could have been fine too, but just do it with somebody first, and then start planning your own solo backcountry trips once you know you're ready. But that's it. Hope you guys dug this one, and we'll talk soon. All right, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope that gave you some things to think about. Be safe out there. Make good decisions. Kelly and I, as I mentioned, are going on a fly fishing trip, thanks to Wayne Molnar. He's taking us out there for a little 40th birthday excursion. So I'm super pumped. I've never actually fly fished before. Shout out to my buddy Joe Cermelli. He hooked me up with a fly rod and reel. I got to go, learn how to use it today. Probably should go practice a little bit, grab some flies, and figure out what I need. So really looking forward to it. I'm going to bring some recording equipment with me. Hopefully we'll do a podcast. I'm not going to make any promises there, but we'll try and do it. Anyways, guys, enjoy the spring, summer season here, and we'll talk to you next week. Cheers.